The grocery store parking lot was loud with engines, carts rattling, and people rushing to finish their day. No one noticed the small child at first. A little boy, no more than 4 years old, standing completely still near a row of parked cars, clutching a tiny blue backpack that looked almost too big for him. His eyes were wide. Not crying. Just scared in a quiet, heartbreaking way. And if one stranger hadn't stopped walking at exactly the right moment, this story might have ended very differently. Before we begin, if stories of real kindness and human connection move you, take a second to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Kindness Story Hub, where small acts of kindness remind us how powerful being human can be. It was a normal Tuesday afternoon in a suburban town in the United States. People were coming and going, thinking about dinner, homework, traffic. Among them was a woman named Emily. She was in her early 30s, tired after a long shift at work, and focused on getting home. As she pushed her cart toward her car, she noticed something that made her slow down. At first, she thought the little boy was waiting for his parents. But then she realized no adult was nearby. No one calling his name. No frantic footsteps. Emily stopped. The boy stood frozen, his small fingers gripping the strap of his backpack. His sneakers were dusty. His face looked pale, like he'd been holding in fear for a while. Emily gently crouched down, keeping her voice soft so she wouldn't scare him. "Hey buddy," she said. "Are you okay?" The boy didn't answer. His lower lip trembled, but he stayed quiet. Emily glanced around the parking lot, hoping to see a panicked parent running toward them. Nothing. Just cars pulling out and strangers passing by. She felt a knot form in her chest. "Did you lose your mom or dad?" she asked carefully. The boy finally nodded. That was all it took. Emily didn't touch him right away. She knew better than to scare him or do the wrong thing. She stayed at his level, told him her name, and promised she would help him find his family. Slowly, the boy relaxed enough to whisper his name, Noah. He said he had been holding his mom's hand inside the store. Then he saw a toy aisle. Then someone bumped into him. And then, she was gone. Emily felt tears sting her eyes. Anyone who's ever lost sight of a loved one for even a few seconds knows that panic. For a child, it's terrifying beyond words. Emily asked Noah if he knew his mom's name. He did. If he knew her phone number. He didn't. So Emily made a choice. She stayed. She flagged down a store employee and explained what happened. Together, they took Noah inside to customer service. An announcement was made over the loudspeaker, calling for Noah's mom. Minutes passed. No one came. Noah's eyes filled with tears, and this time he couldn't hold them back. He cried quietly at first, then harder, burying his face in his backpack. Emily stayed right there. She talked to him about his favorite cartoons. She told him about her dog. She let him know he wasn't alone. 10 minutes felt like an hour. Finally, a woman came running toward customer service, her face streaked with tears, panic written all over her. She dropped her purse on the floor when she saw Noah. "That's my baby," she cried. Noah looked up, and his face changed instantly. He ran into her arms, sobbing. "I couldn't find you," he said. His mother held him so tightly, shaking with relief. She kept saying thank you to Emily, over and over again, barely able to catch her breath. She explained that she had searched every aisle, asked employees, and thought her heart would stop when she couldn't find him. Emily brushed it off gently. Anyone would have done the same, she said, but not everyone would have. After the police arrived to make a brief report and confirm everything was okay, Emily prepared to leave. She hugged Noah goodbye and told him to always stay close to his mom. That should have been the end of the story, but it wasn't. Another shopper had quietly watched the entire interaction from a distance. They had recorded a short video, not of the child's face, but of Emily sitting patiently beside him, talking softly, offering comfort, staying when she didn't have to. Later that night, that video was posted online with a simple caption, "Kind stranger stays with lost child until his mom is found. Faith in humanity restored." By morning, it had thousands of views. By afternoon, millions, people shared it everywhere. Parents commented that they cried watching it. Others said they hoped someone would do the same if their child was ever lost. Emily woke up the next day to messages from friends saying, "Is this you?" Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. She was overwhelmed. Reporters reached out. Morning shows asked for interviews. The store thanked her publicly. Strangers sent messages calling her a hero, but Emily kept saying the same thing: I just stayed. That simple sentence struck a nerve. In a world that feels rushed, distracted, and divided, people were moved by something so basic: a stranger choosing to care. The boy's mother later posted her own message. She wrote about the worst fear of her life and how a stranger's kindness gave her child safety and comfort when she couldn't be there. She ended with, I will never forget what you did for my son. Neither would Noah. Weeks later, Emily received a drawing in the mail. It was a picture drawn in crayons, a small boy holding hands with a woman, both smiling. At the top, in messy letters, it said, Thank you for helping me. Emily cried when she saw it. The story continued to spread, not because it was dramatic or shocking, but because it was real. It reminded people that kindness doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just stopping when others keep walking. Teachers shared the story in classrooms. Parents talked about it at dinner tables. People said it made them more aware, more patient, more willing to help. All because one person chose to stay. Emily was asked what she hoped people would take away from the story. She said, We all have the power to make someone feel safe. You don't need money or status or a platform. Just presence. That message stuck, and maybe that's why the story went viral. Not because Emily was special, but because she showed us who we can all be on our best day. Kindness doesn't always change the whole world. Sometimes it changes one moment. One child's fear. One parent's nightmare. One stranger's faith in humanity. But those moments matter, because when people see kindness, they remember it. They pass it on. They become braver about caring. So the next time you see someone who looks lost, scared, or alone, remember this story. Remember that stopping could mean everything to them. You never know who's watching, you never know who needs you, and you never know how far one small act of kindness can travel. Sometimes, it can reach the whole world.